I think we're living in a real in-between time right now where people can say and believe all the right things about equality. We live in a society here in North America where women have access to education, they have access to resources and opportunities and all of that. But there are still these very subtle, very under the surface, almost unnoticeable biases that men and women both have about women and leadership, just kind of these default things that are programmed into us. I encounter this kind of thing. I think this happens all the time where I'll be standing next to my husband and we'll meet someone new, and he will ask my husband, "What do you do for a living?" And in an effort to connect with me, he'll say, "And how many children do you have?" You know, it's not that this man doesn't believe in equality. It's not that he doesn't, that he thinks all I can do is raise children, but it is this bias that we have that comes out in these really harmless ways, but sometimes it can come out in destructive ways too. I could tell stories from my ministry experiences as a woman in ministry of funny things that have happened, hurtful things that have happened, but I have to say that overall I feel like my experience has been a fairly smooth one. It's interesting because when I first accepted a call to ministry, I was in my early 20s. It was really something that I resisted because I was afraid. I felt like if I was going to be a woman in ministry, that I was going to have to be some sort of trailblazer. I was going to have to pave the way, and that I was going to have to go against the grain, and I was going to have to fight for opportunities, and that it would just be difficult. And I didn't like the sound of that. But I think two things. One, I was naive then, and I didn't realize all of the men and women who've gone in front of me who have already been the trailblazers and who have already paved the way, and I'm standing on their shoulders in everything that I do. But even more than that, I think as I've matured, I have learned that I don't need to be a trailblazer, and I don't need to be a trendsetter, and I don't need to, in fact, it's not even helpful to go into situations with any kind of an agenda. I don't show up on the scene demanding to lead, but instead I just be who it is that God has created me to be. The reality is that God has given me gifts for leadership, and that I really do love people. And so when I love people and I just lead as God has gifted me to lead, the rest seems to kind of take care of itself. So what I found in 15, almost 16 years of ministry is that really I haven't had to pave the way at all, that God has already paved the way for me. And I just need to do what it is that He's called me to do, and do it with love and with humility. I've had people say to me, "Andrea, I don't think women should be pastors, and I don't think they should preach, but it's okay if you preach, and it's okay if you're a pastor." And I guess I'll take that as a compliment. I think what they're really trying to say is that, they're trying to say